today. From Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, it's a special Halloween presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. See Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons versus Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers.
The weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather. And we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with the Carolina Panthers. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Amir Abdullah going to take it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the 2015 NFL Most Valuable Player in his 11th season in the league, 32-year-old Cam Newton.
And many people are having difficulty pegging exactly what they believe Cam Newton is at this point in his career. For me, when I see certain days and he's right, he can still be an accurate passer, can still get the ball downfield. And his running ability, especially inside the 10, still makes him a difficult quarterback to prepare for.
And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. The numbers for McCaffrey last week. He was creeping up toward 200 yards, thought he was going to get there, didn't quite make it, but also 2 rushing touchdowns.
And even if he only got about half those numbers this week, his team would take it in a heartbeat, wouldn't they? Because last week, he was spectacular.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And Cam is still down here. Appears to be shaken up and in some pain after the last play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Here's Darnold. He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey. And he is going to have a Panthers first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. So they give up the completion there. But defensively, Charles, you're going up against a quarterback here who's had some moments, but really a lot of ups and downs in the early part of his career. What's the plan against a guy like this?
Well, you want to rattle him first and foremost. Bring some people at him, a couple extra guys in the pocket, see if he can handle it. The second thing, you want to make him think. Show him one look, go to another, disguise a few things, make him throw into what you call your defensive traps, and try to make some good plays on the ball and get a few takeaways.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
On 4th down, Joseph Charlton on to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. There'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Falcon offense about ready to go to work here for the first time, and leading them as he has since 2008 is the veteran quarterback, former MVP, Matt Ryan.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Opening carry of the game for Cordero Patterson. The numbers for him from a 12 carries, 62 yards, and a touchdown.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
On fourth down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Christian McCaffrey deep for Carolina. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Well, Charles, you talk about this offense, this week 8 of the 2021 campaign. Now, normally this would be the halfway point of the season, but as we all know, it's now a 17-game regular season. And because of that, seems like now maybe more than ever, getting your open week to occur later in the season, that could be a pretty big advantage.
Brandon, it's always been a big advantage, and now, as you pointed out, the possibility of it becoming huge, likely. Most teams want that later open date because of injuries, getting that rest before the playoff push, all of those things. Sometimes when you get an open date early in the season, it's not really much of an advantage. You might be playing well, now it slows down your momentum. This is a big deal, and teams definitely like it. The later, the better.
He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
The tackle there by Fabian Moreau. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Darnold now to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And that's complete to the right side. It's Marshall. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a scoreless game. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls because these are the top 2 teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things, and still be in good shape.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And he's going to have the hook up to Gage. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
So a nice catch right there. And this receiving core, without their number one wideout, keep that in mind. He's inactive this week, though it shouldn't be a long-term absence.
And I would think, partner, that this is where an offensive coordinator believes he can solve the problem by spreading the ball around. Because anytime you lose your number one guy, it's obviously a blow to your offense. But it's also an opportunity to say, hey, they can't focus on trying to stop one guy. Keep spreading it around. The last part, each one of those receivers, they believe they're the number one guy, and they're ready to step up.
On 2nd and 7, Ryan. Man open, that's Damian Rattling. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. Back now in Atlanta's second quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. He'll look underneath here for Love. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
So from the 17 now, 1st and 10.
Shotgun handoff now for Love. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Patterson on the carry. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Patterson. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal.
This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is put 6 on the board.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Cordero Patterson. His 14th touchdown now on the year.
And the Falcons' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. This defense held out as long as they could, but ultimately the running game wears them down from the 1-yard line.
And that gets set up throughout the entire drive, doesn't it? And when you put those big bodies and determination into that carry, the end result, touchdown.
Abdullah's going to stay put, and the drive will start at the 25.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now it's Darnold. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Marshall. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Falcons to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Ryan. Got an open man, it's Ratley. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
4 yards remain for 2nd down. They run with Patterson. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 47 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
On 1st down, Ryan. Again, that's Hurst. Oh, a second dosage. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. On 2nd down now. It's Patterson. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays. I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Well, Brennan, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
2nd down and goal. Ryan feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Derek Brown able to drop him for a loss of a couple. So we are at halftime here on Halloween as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, make sure you avoid the crazies out there and welcome in everybody to this Halloween edition of our
Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Falcons ready to go back to work to start the third quarter.
Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a two-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. They're going to start the drive here on the ground with Patterson. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a second down here.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Looking to throw again on second down. Ryan got an open man. It's Foster.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Throwing now. Ryan on first down. That is taken in by Hurst. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And he gets this out to Foster on the right side. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
76 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive. And here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Cordero Patterson. His second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Falcons take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run.
The touchdown. Here's Koo to kick off. And Abdullah will not try to bring it out.
The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Back to throw, Newton. Rolling to his right. Into the secondary, past the 40. Cam wisely hitting the deck at the end as he slides and has the first as well. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. On first down, this is McCaffrey.
And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here's 2nd and 10.
A shotgun snap for Newton. Over the middle, complete. It's Marshall. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Well, it's tough time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
From the 40 now on 2nd down, Newton. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Ronald Blair able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the
ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright. And this score will stay right where it is.
Prepped and ready for its next possession.
This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. To the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Patterson. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
104 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Ryan. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore.
And the Panthers are right back in this football game.
Two-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll make it 2nd down. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Now a throw here to his running back, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
2nd down at 5.
Here's Newton. Get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going. So, you know, I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
2nd and 12 now at the 44-yard line.
Newton to throw. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
There's Tremble, the tight end. And he is going to have a Panthers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to...
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down.
Grady Jarrett able to record his 5th sack of the season. And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be trying to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
And I wonder what was going through his mind because he didn't seem as...
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. John Kaminsky, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down.
Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Falcons' defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons' offense at the line. Big stop on the turnover on downs to get the football back, and now it's just all about salting this one away.
Yeah, just slowly bleed the clock away. Clock's definitely on your side. And, you know, when we talk about...
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. They
Boye with a pick. And the Panthers are right back in this football game.
Now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the fourth.
And in the old days, not too long gone either. Throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no, but the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Funchess has it complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Cam to throw.
And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here's Newton.
They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Clock running here, under 90 seconds to go. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Newton.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked off by A.J. Terrell.
There he goes left side. The 30. 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it to the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
Abdullah's going to stay put, and the drive will start at the 25. The Carolina offense about ready to go.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Newton.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And Abdullah will not try to bring it out. The possession of the football goes over to Carolina.
Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Grady Jarrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And I notice you used the word sparked, because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Newton. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. Just a gain of a couple there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. From the gun, here's Newton. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Atlanta, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they'll try again next week at home against New England. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.